Oh, good day. I'm so delighted to have you on this channel today. Thank you very much for coming online. Thank you for watching this video. I so much appreciate and I deeply express my gratitude to everyone who has subscribed to this channel within the last 2 days. It is not ordinary, it's not usual, according to me, to move from 0 to 200 plus within 2 days. This is possible because of the caliber of people that I have as friends and partners. So everyone who subscribed to this channel within the last 2 days, I so much appreciate you. I appreciate this effort for you to come to this channel, even though you have few contents there for you to be able to subscribe to it. Please, I want you to acknowledge, I want you to be aware of my gratitude for you subscribing to this channel. We wanted to hold on with our broadcast, our teaching on this platform until we are fully set up our studio, but I decided, no, don't let us procrastinate, don't let us shift it to a later day. Let us go ahead to give the people the content. It is not the studio we want to show you, it is the information that we want to give to you. So when the studio is ready in the few months time, we'll be able to make good use of it. So today I'm going to be giving you certain information that I believe is going to help and enhance your relationship in a big way. So before I go into the content this day, I want to request of you to please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. This will help us a lot to grow. As we continue to grow, then it will boost our morale to put out more content that will be of great benefits to you. So before we go into the teaching, please kindly hit the subscribe button so that you'll be able to have greater content that will be coming forth from this channel even in the days to come. Thank you very much for hitting the subscribe button. God bless you. Now today I quickly want to share a few words with you on the topic building healthy courtship. Building healthy courtship. Courtship or relationship is just like a building. You don't just wake up one day to suddenly find a building seated on a location. No, the building must necessarily go through certain processes before the edifice can be visible. Sometimes when the building is under projection, when the building is under construction, there are certain informations that must come into place. There are certain ingredients that must come to be. Now, when all these factors are being cooked together, allow me to use the expression cooked. When all these things are being put together, some people might not be aware. For instance, you might see a barricade in that vicinity. You don't know the kind of structure being built, but the owners of those facility are going through certain developmental stages, and part of it is the soil test, the survey, the plan, the drawing of the plan, etc. Now, while all that is going on, people are not aware of what is going on. But when the blocks begin to come upon each one and another, that is when you begin to have a suggestion of what is going on. So before your relationship or your courtship will end into marriage, there are certain things that must be in place in the foundation. When people are not yet aware of what is going on, there are certain things that must be at the foundation before the structure comes to limelight. Now, if you make the mistake of not giving it the needed primary and basic necessary foundational elements, and you build the structure will not be able to stand because the necessary things you ought to have done from the beginning, you failed to do it. Don't forget, I am talking about building healthy courtship, and there are certain things that must be in place before the courtship can metamorphose into marriage. It will not suddenly become marriage, and it is not all courtship, it is not all relationship that leads to marriage. No. The failure of both partners to put basic ingredients, basic instruments in building their relationship, failure to do that is what most of the time result into the relationship not moving to the next level, and the next level is marriage. So what is a relationship? A relationship is a focused friendship whose aim is marriage. Now, this is relationship. You are not just hanging out. You are not just being friends. You are not just mere friends. You are not just acquaintance. You are in a relationship, and the relationship has a focus. Once the relationship lacks focus, then anything can happen. Anything can be done in such a relationship because the relationship lacks focus. It's just like a plane who decided to fly into the sky without having a destination. The plane might end up crashing because the destination in view will determine the quantity of the fuel that the plane needs to fly with. Now, the destination in view will also determine the kind of pilot to fly the plane. There are certain pilots that they are certified to fly domestic aircraft, and there are certain other pilots who are certified to fly international planes. There are some who are certified to fly jets, private jets. So it is not just being a pilot. It's not just being a male. It's not just being a female. There are certain things that must be in place before you are qualified to fly a plane. Now, don't forget, this time around, we are talking about a relationship that leads to marriage. So there are certain things that must be in place. And part of those things is to define what you are having. What are you having right now? Is it mere friendship? Now, when it is mere friendship, you don't have a defined future for it. Anything can happen because you are just friends. You could just be friends because you are in the same department. You could just be friends because you live in the same neighborhood. You could just be friends because you attend the same church. But if your friendship is a defined friendship, then the definition of that friendship is because it is leading to marriage. Now, when the relationship has a definition of marriage, then certain elements comes to play. Now, what are those certain elements that comes to play? There are certain adjustments that must happen in that relationship for it to move to marriage. A lot of times I hear people say that, love me the way I am. Yes, love me the way I am. But the work lies on you to become a better version of yourself. It is Christ that loves us. He calls us to himself. He loves us the way we are, but he doesn't expect us to remain the way we are. So the attitude you had before you got engaged must be modified, must be enhanced so that the relationship can work. If you enter into a relationship and after 5 months, you are the way you used to be. Now, what do I mean by you are the way you used to be? You don't have respect for time. You don't have respect for communication. You don't have respect for privacy. You are not accountable, etc. That is who you are. Now you are in a relationship. You still want to continue like that. No, there are etiquettes. There are do's and don'ts. There are certain things that can be ignored while you are still single and searching. There are certain things you must do now that you are engaged. For instance, when a man just won an election to become a governor or a senator, they go through some weeks of orientation. They don't just win the election and become the governor the following day. They don't just win the election and they become a senator the following day. No, they go through induction because there are certain etiquettes they must have. There are certain protocols they must follow. So when you are single and searching, there are certain protocols you don't follow. But now that you are in a relationship, there are principles, there are doctrines, there are rules and regulations that must guide you and your relationship so that your relationship can metamorphose from just friendship, from just relationship, from just courtship into marriage. Remember, we are talking about building healthy courtship. Before I go further, please, I would like you to please subscribe if you have not done so. It will help us a lot. Thank you. Now, there are certain things you need to do. And to sum it up in this first session, I will just say you need to make certain adjustments. Now, what is courtship? Courtship is the period close to your marriage date, your wedding date, the period that is close to it. So you can be in a relationship for 4 years, for instance, and after doing all the formalities, certain date has been picked for your wedding. Now, the 4 years is now different. The demand on you now that a date has been picked for your wedding is now a new dimension. It's a dimension that is in the previous 4 years, but the previous 4 years has gone. You have now entered into a new season. Now that season is the season that is called courtship. Courtship. A date has been chosen. When you started 4 years ago, a date was not chosen. Even if it was chosen, it was not official. It has not been certified. It has not been agreed upon by both parents. But now that the date has been chosen, the date has been picked, the next thing for you is to begin to put certain other elements that will help your marriage. Now, in the next video, I'm going to show you the things that must be in place for your relationship or your courtship to metamorphose into marriage. Don't forget, when I started, I said it's not every relationship that leads to marriage. So if you want to know if your relationship will lead to marriage, please watch the next video. And before you be able to do that, please subscribe so that you get the notification when the next video is being published here. Once again, I deeply appreciate you for taking time to listen to this from the beginning to the end. Thank you very much. My name is Pastor Gesh. God bless you. See you in the next video where I'll be telling you critical things that must be in place for your relationship or your courtship to move from being mere friends into a serious relationship of marriage. Thank you. God bless you. Thumbs up.